Okay, well, welcome to Wednesday night Bible study, Christians on campus. We've been going over four great men in the book of Genesis. And so far we've covered Abel, we covered Enoch. Wasn't that good last week? Right? Because of Enoch, who was a frail and mortal person, it says men began to call on the name of the Lord. Wonderful thing. Okay? And today we will cover another person named Enoch. So, going back to the title, Four Great Men. Great is kind of an interesting word to use. We just use it because maybe it's catching. But actually, what is really great about these men? Because they're not powerful personalities. They're not people that accomplish so many things, right? In fact, if you look at the line of Cain, who was cursed by God, his lineage, they built cities, they built weapons, they built music. It seems like they accomplished a lot of things. That sounds great. But the men in the line of life, and this is the line that really matters to God. What was one person? One person was worshiping God according to God. That means he just offered the lamb because that's what he saw. There's some revelation there that I am a sinner and I need the blood. That's a great man. What about Enoch? His name means weak, mortal, and frail. How great is that? But because he was such, he led all of mankind to begin calling on the name of the Lord. And that is great. Okay? Now today, we will touch this person named Enoch. And it says here, it's literally only 3 verses, the first 3 verses here, about this person. But this person, it says he walked with God for 300 years. And eventually it says he was not. That means God took him. God was so happy with this person who walked with him for 300 years that God says, you don't need to die. You know, that's the ultimate issue of man's fall, is death. 7th generation of mankind, he found a way to escape death, to be raptured. Okay? You guys excited to hear about this person? I am too. So let me read you a few verses here. In Genesis 5, it says, and Enoch lived 65 years, and he begot Methuselah. Methuselah. Bible trivia. This is the person that lived the longest in the whole Bible, 969 years. So Enoch was his dad. And Enoch walked with God after he had begotten Methuselah 300 years. He begot more sons and daughters. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not. For God took him. Now here's the question. What will motivate you to walk with God? What's a good motivation for you to walk your Christian life, to walk with God? Think about it. You know, we prayed to receive Jesus. We got saved. We got our fire insurance. Like we're not going to burn in hell. That's good. It's a good deal. And then now what? What will motivate you to get up in the morning to pray? What will motivate you to be in the Bible? What will motivate you to be in this Bible study? I'm very happy you're all here, right? What motivates you to live your Christian life walking according to God? Okay? Here you have to get a little insight. It says here that Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah. You know what Methuselah's name means? It means when he is dead, it will be sent. When he is dead, it will be sent. So there's something to this name. Enoch saw something that he named his son, when he is dead, it will be sent. And that actually was a prophecy concerning the flood that came at Noah's time. Okay, so let me draw a little diagram here. So here's Enoch. He was 65 years old. He begot what? Methuselah. Right? And if you read this verse here, Genesis 5:25, Methuselah lived 187 years. We're doing a little divine math here. 187, and he begat what? Lamech. Okay, then the next verse in 5:28-29. And Lamech lived 182 years. This is 182. And he begot what? Noah. Okay? And if you read Genesis 7:6, and Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters came upon the earth. 600. And what happened here? The flood. Okay, mathematicians. What is 187 plus 182 plus 600? Good job. You get an A. 969 years. Look at this verse. Genesis 5:27. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. So when the year Methuselah died, this was sent. Flood was sent. Well, that's a kind of neat story. But think about it. 969 years before this thing was sent, Enoch saw something. He never said what God told him, but he saw a vision. He had a realization. There is a flood that's going to wipe everything out. That's Judgment Day. When that day comes, when that thing is sent, boom. Think about it. But he realized 960, he didn't say, I don't know, he knew 969 years. But sometime later, when my son Methuselah dies, the whole earth will be judged. So that means, why should I live for this earth? The whole thing is going to be flooded. Right? Well, guess what? Just as the days of Noah, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. The New Testament says. So one day, because of the flood, God promised that he will no longer destroy the earth with the water. Well, guess what happens? When the Lord comes back, everything will be judged by fire. To me, it's more scary. Okay? So think about it. One day, iPhones will burn. One day, TikTok will burn. One day, all your memes in the social media, it will all burn. Amazon will burn. Right? Google will burn. It's all going to burn. Right? So do you want to invest your whole being and your whole life into what's eventually going to be smoke? Think about it. My dad had a very, very successful business. He was one of the largest adhesive tape manufacturer in Asia. Very successful. He poured in his life into this business. He worked 6 days a week. And Sunday, he'd be so tired, he just wants to watch TV, just relax. He was maybe mid to late 50s, diagnosed with liver cancer. At the end of his life, and then don't get me wrong, he was a wonderful father. He gave us everything we needed. He loved us. He provided for everything. No problem that end. But he had this realization: I poured out my whole being on this business. Stage 3, 4 liver cancer. It means nothing. So I know all of you guys are aspiring college students. You're pouring in for your education, for your career. I hope you have a little bit of the vision of, one day it's all going to burn. Right? It doesn't mean you should just drop out of school or no. You should get the best grades. Okay, please get all A's. Please get your degree, please. But be careful about your heart. Don't set your being on something that's going to burn. So because Enoch has this realization, it says when Methuselah was born, he began to walk with God. Okay, and let me read you a few more verses here. This is the New Testament confirming what Enoch was. In Jude, it says, and Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied also of these, saying, behold, the Lord will come with myriads of saints to do what? To execute judgment against all, and to convict all the ungodly concerning all their ungodly works which they had done ungodly. So in Jude, in the New Testament, it did say Enoch was prophesying concerning that judgment. Okay, and 2 Peter, again, this is kind of confirming what I'm telling you. Everything's going to burn. 2 Peter 3, 10 to 12. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief. Right? Have you ever had your house broken into? I hope not. But guess what? It says that when the Lord comes, he's like the thief, if you weren't expecting. In which the heavens will pass away with a roar, and the elements, burning with intense heat, will be dissolved, and the earth and the works in it will be burnt up. Since all these things are to be thus dissolved, what kind of persons ought you to be in holy manner of life and godliness? Expecting. Are you expecting? Expecting and hastening the coming of the day of God, on account of which the heavens being on fire will be dissolved, and the elements burning with intense heat are to be melted. So, I don't want to be here to scare anyone, but you have to realize what's coming, right? How many of you, right, you've taken a class, and maybe you had no realization that, you know what, there's a final exam. You're just going to chill it out, check the notes here and there. You didn't realize there is a final exam that's going to be 100% of your grade. If you realize that at the beginning of the semester, you get one test, that's it, the whole semester. What do you think you'll be preparing? You'll be walking with your professor, because that one exam is going to determine your grade, right? Okay, now what does it mean then to walk with God? When you walk with someone, you have to take that someone as your very center, as your very focus, even denying yourself. Okay. For example, I have a little illustration here. Okay. You're going to walk with me, right? You did a good job. To walk with someone, that means you have to pay your full attention. Where is he going? How is he getting there? How fast is he going? And I need to deny myself. I don't think he likes to go walk, like this. But he cares enough about me to walk with me, right? So that means he's paying attention. Talking about my dad again. My dad, he's a very fast walker. And my mom is a very slow walker. We went on vacation, I think to Hong Kong or something. And my mom likes the window shop. So she's sitting there taking forever, looking at everything. My dad was just like, and we're like literally yards, hundreds of yards away. I usually walk with my dad, so I know I have to go fast to keep up with him. And my mom is like, what? Like, come on, mom, That's what happens. Now, here's the thing. Are you walking with God? Or is God walking with you? Or maybe even worse, are you dragging God along with you? Maybe sometimes more accurate depiction. You do a lot of things, right? How many decisions we make every day? From, should I wear this shirt? Should I go get that boba? Should I make this post on Instagram? Should I take this class? Should I study for this now? Or should I play more of my video games? But these are all things that college students, right? Should I go buy that? It's on sale. Do we have a consciousness that, Lord, what are you doing? I want to walk with you. Many times we make a decision for the Lord and we just got to drag him along. He's a gentleman. He actually will go along with us. He will never leave us. But would you rather the Lord be happy with you as we're walking with him? So it makes a big difference. When we walk with God, okay, look at this Matthew. Like, who wants to be a disciple of the Lord? It says, if anyone wants to come after me, let him deny himself. Take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his soul life, he'll lose it. But whoever loses his soul life for my sake, he'll find it. So what does it mean to walk with God? Actually, calling on the name of the Lord is a very good start. That means, Lord, I need you. I can't do anything without you. Right? But after we call on the Lord, and after he comes to us and fills us and, right, applies us, guess what? We follow him. We go along with him. Right? Oh, Lord, look at this. This new computer. I need a new computer. This is like 80% off. Is the Lord walking there? Right? Because eventually, if you think about it, do we have a Christian life? A Christian life should be full of transactions with God. Or we wake up, first thing we do, check our phone, notification, email, oh, I forgot to pay this, then run into the thing, shower, run to class, hair is all disheveled. I don't have to worry about that. And then maybe, I got to eat a meal. Okay, Lord, thank you for this meal. We kind of have a perfunctory religious prayer. And maybe at night, okay, this is a busy day. Yeah, I think I should read a little bit of the Bible. I'll pick a couple verses. Is that our Christian life? Or that's barely walking with God? How many transactions do we have with him? Then we know how we're walking. Does that make sense? So, last point. Enoch's life of walking with God caused him to be raptured by God. A lot of people want to talk about rapture, studying this. Is it before the tribulation, after the tribulation, all kinds of doctrines and debates. And what let us forget about all of those when all this. Will you be rapture ready? All of that depends. Have you been walking with God? How many men of God were there at Enoch's time? I mean, all these people were alive, but only he got raptured. Right? Don't be duped. When the Lord comes back, those who are mature through our walking with God, spending our whole life to be one with Him, God will take it. You know, when the Lord comes back as a thief in the night, the thief comes into your house. What is he going to steal? Underwear? Your leftovers? Oh, he's going to go for the jewels, the Armani watches, right? Your gold bars. That's what he's going to go after. The precious things. So here's the principle of rapture. Again, don't worry so much about who and when and how. And are you precious enough for God to steal? How will we become precious? Walk with Him. Interact with Him. Spend time with Him. Have a Christian life, not I don't know what else. Sometimes we just live, we belong to a club, but we're not really in it. Right? Have a lot of transactions. If anything else, call on the Lord. Open to the Lord. Cry out to the Lord. Okay? And you will see the blood that Abel applied, the name that Enoch called, and the walking that Enoch did. All the subsequent men of God all do the same. You will always need the blood. You always need to call on the Lord. And we always need to walk. Amen? Okay, so I know maybe I was a little bit long, but you can tell I have a lot of burden. I don't like, I want God to be real to you. Right? We're not here just to teach some doctrines. Have God be real to you. Challenge Him. Open to Him. Talk to Him. Walk with Him. Right? This will make you precious in God's eyes. And this will cause you to be rapturable, if that's a word, when He comes back.